You know this feeling of you feel like you do not know where you're going in life. You feel like people do not understand you. You feel like you could do this or that, but what's the point? What's the point of all this? What's the point of living? What's the point of going on? You feel so lost. I've been there. That's why I think I can speak about it. I can relate to those who feel lost. And the thing that I came to understand as I was going through this feeling of being completely lost in life is that you are not actually lost. You are just not arrived yet. You haven't lost sight of the destination. It's just that the destination is seemingly so far away from where you are right now that it feels like there is no destination. But the very fact that you feel like you are lost means that you know you are on a journey. You are on a spiritual journey because we are all here in this world to embark upon a spiritual journey. The destination of said journey is awakening, spiritual awakening. It is to remember that we are one with everything and everyone, that we are the higher self, Source, God, that chose to incarnate itself in each and every one of us in order to experience this 3D material world, this 3D material life with everything it has to offer. But in the moment where you feel lost, it's not that you lost sight of your destination. More often than not, it's that you have no idea how you're going to go there, how you're going to get there. And the thing that I understood when I was going through that phase was that every single time I felt lost, it was a sign from the higher self to go within. When you feel like there is no path around you, it's because the path is within you. The path of going within that would lead to embarking upon a spiritual journey or going further along your spiritual journey or reaching spiritual awakening. As I said in a previous video, spiritual awakening is not the end-all be-all. It's not the ultimate goal, and then after you reached it, you are basically purposeless because you finally reached spiritual awakening. It's not that. Spiritual awakening is the gate that you have to go through in order for you to live the best life you can possibly live with everything beautiful it has to offer to you in this 3D material world. So if I can, in any way, shape, or form, cheer you up when you are going through this phase of feeling like you are lost, it's because the higher self is telling you, go within. It's only acting out of unconditional love, as unconditional love is the law that every single human being and thing should abide by in this 3D world of ours. Unconditional love for others, but also and especially unconditional love for you. Because when you remember who you are, that is the higher self, you realize that when you feel lost, it is the higher self telling you to go within, therefore it is you yourself on a 5D level, telling the you on a 3D level to go within. So when you feel like you are lost, you are not lost. You are already on the path. It's just that because of what's happening in life, all, the pain and the suffering of existence, dare I say, that you have to go through, you tend to have absolutely no clue on how you are going to get there. But get there you will. So long as you take every single time that you feel lost for the cue to go within. And the deeper you go within, the faster you will embark on a spiritual journey. Or if you are already on your spiritual journey, the faster you will get to spiritual awakening. Now, I know that when I say spiritual awakening is remembering who you are, some people might say, well, you just said it, so why do I have to go through it? Okay, I remember. No, that's not how it works. You have to go through the journey. You cannot listen to someone like me, for instance, and tell you what spiritual awakening is, and then say or fool yourself into believing that you know what it is. You have to have been there, and only you can do that. It's a little bit like when you read or watch many videos, read many books about a country, for instance. But unless you go there, you will never experience the country, how it's supposed to be experienced, the way it is supposed to be experienced. For instance, you can read as many books as you want about Italy. You can watch hundreds upon hundreds of videos about Italy, which will give you a pretty good idea of what Italy is as a country. But unless you've traveled to Italy and stayed there for a little bit, or even lived in Italy for a little bit, you will never understand what Italy is about. It's the same with spiritual awakening. It's the same. I can tell you guys what spiritual awakening is, and I always do in my videos. But unless you find yourself there, unless you finally reach spiritual awakening, then you cannot really understand what spiritual awakening is about. And that is okay. Because while you do not understand what it is right now, you will when you reach spiritual awakening. Because each and every one of us will eventually get there. Now I'm gonna be a little bit in your face and tell you, if not in this incarnation, then the next, and if not in the next incarnation, then the next, and so on and so forth. Which you might say, oh my God, then I will never reach spiritual awakening. I will always feel like I am lost. Not so. Not so. Because when you say that, it means that you think that this incarnation is the only thing you have and the only thing you are. And nothing could be further from the truth. Because since we are all one, we are all drops of source. And when we leave this meat suit of ours, when we go through death, even though there is no such thing as death, and we go back to source before being reincarnated or incarnated again, then it is always us. It is always us. And the beauty about that, the beauty about reaching spiritual awakening, is that each and every one of us who reaches spiritual awakening is making the work of reaching spiritual awakening a little bit easier for the others. Because since we are all one, we are all connected. And since we are all connected, every single time someone reaches spiritual awakening, there is a ripple effect, if you will, that might not be sensed consciously, but is sensed unconsciously. And so each and every one of us on our spiritual journey are, for lack of a better word, encouraging each other to go further along our spiritual journey. That is why you are never lost. Never. Every time you think you are lost, it is the ego trying to make you think that you are lost. But every time you think you are lost, it is the higher self's cue that is telling you, go within, my love. Go within, my dear. Go within. You're this close from remembering who you really are.